How government policies have shaped the affordable housing crisis. The real estate market is significantly shaped by government policies, particularly in affordable housing. The growth and viability of housing developments serving low-income families can be aided or hindered by these policies. This blog offers a thorough examination of both proposed and existing laws influencing the housing industry, with a particular emphasis on how they may directly affect efforts to provide affordable housing. Stakeholders can more effectively negotiate obstacles and take advantage of opportunities to address housing affordability by being aware of these effects. Present situation, in-place policies and their impact. Tax incentives and federal subsidies. Affordable housing developments nationwide have benefited greatly from federal programs like the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit (LIHTC). This program promotes the building and renovation of rental homes for low-income households by offering tax incentives to developers. Evaluating its efficacy exposes its advantages in generating housing opportunities, as well as its drawbacks because of financing restrictions and competitive allocation procedures. Local regulations and zoning laws. Zoning regulations and other local government policies have a big influence on the creation of affordable housing. Restrictive zoning can raise construction costs and limit supply in many places by limiting the number of units that can be developed. Inclusionary zoning regulations, which mandate that a specific portion of newly constructed land be set aside for affordable housing, have been introduced by some communities and have the potential to increase the supply of affordable housing. New trends, suggested laws, and their possible effects. Increased federal funding. The goal of new federal measures is to increase financing for affordable homes. Increasing funding for public housing and vouchers under HUD's budget is one way to do this, and it could greatly increase the number of cheap homes available to low-income families. Examining these ideas allows us to determine whether or not they can satisfy the growing need for affordable housing. Creative land use regulations. Novel land use regulations that have the potential to revolutionize the affordable housing market are being contemplated by certain states and towns. These include suggestions to ease parking requirements for new constructions and permit multifamily units in zones that have historically only allowed single-family homes. These changes can cut construction costs and encourage larger densities, which will increase the supply of affordable housing. Case studies. The effect of policy and practice. Bringing attention to particular areas that have either proposed or implemented creative policies gives the conversation a grounded, practical context. A case study from Oregon, for instance, demonstrates how the state's upsetting regulations have made it possible for more multifamily structures to be constructed in residential neighborhoods, possibly reducing housing costs and increasing availability. Opportunities and challenges. Managing policy-driven markets. Overcoming opposition. New housing regulations may have advantages, but there is frequently strong opposition from a variety of stakeholders, including local governments and current inhabitants. Engaging the community, showcasing the financial advantages of affordable housing, and utilizing public-private partnerships to match interests are some strategies to overcome these obstacles. Using law to promote sustainable development. Developers and investors must comprehend how to take advantage of government policies to ensure the viability and sustainability of their projects. This entails managing tax credits, subsidies, and regulatory frameworks to optimize investment returns while supporting societal objectives. In both the US and Canada, stories about the affordable housing crisis are still front and center. Although this suggests that the crisis is still getting worse in some cities, there are also positive signs that the public policy response to the crisis is beginning to have some long-lasting and advantageous effects throughout North America. The housing crisis has demonstrated the flexibility and ability of contemporary governance to create, execute, assess, and improve housing policies quickly in response, with jurisdictions of all shapes and sizes testing every imaginable combination of policy response mixes, from magic bullets to an everything-but-the-kitchen sink strategy. A few policy levers are being widely adopted by municipalities of all sizes as these responses have been implemented, which is a strong indicator that these particular policies are working particularly well to create and maintain the growth of the desperately needed supply of affordable housing. Prefabricated/modular housing. Modular housing, also called prefabricated housing, is becoming more and more popular as a tried and true method of mass-producing high-quality, reasonably priced housing units by manufacturing the component parts off-site and assembling them on-site. Modular housing not only saves money and speeds up the construction process tremendously, but it also reduces waste and negative environmental effects. Government officials are gradually changing city planning and zoning policies to increase the utilization of prefabricated housing when possible, since modular housing is proven to be an especially effective, expedient solution for the housing needs of low-income families and homeless populations. Government leaders rely heavily on companies such as Philadelphia's Volumetric and California's Factory OS, which are at the forefront of innovation in housing products. Community development leaders are swiftly integrating the most recent developments in construction science into relevant housing policies through an open dialogue that exposes city planners to ongoing private sector innovations in robotic construction, supply chain management, lean manufacturing, and more. The end products are community planning programs created to make the most of the newly available construction automation capabilities to deliver affordable housing stocks at scale in a way that is safe, efficient, and economical. Policies for inclusionary zoning. Inclusionary zoning laws are becoming increasingly popular as a means of simultaneously increasing the supply of affordable housing and mixed-income neighborhoods, thereby tackling the issue of affordable housing from its root. To varied degrees of success, cities such as Vancouver, Washington, Boston, and San Francisco have established inclusionary zoning regulations, which require developers to include a certain amount of affordable units in new residential complexes. For instance, the moderate-income rental housing pilot program in Vancouver mandates that a percentage of newly constructed apartments be given to households making between 30% and 80% of the median income. Government officials who support inclusionary zoning policies are also moving closer to the objective of encouraging greater socioeconomic diversity within new neighborhoods by requiring developers to provide affordable housing as a fundamental component of their inventory. Initiatives for Housing First. The goal of Residents First policy initiatives is to give homeless people permanent residence without imposing requirements like jobs or sobriety. By addressing the underlying causes of homelessness through a complete support system, Housing First projects aim to assist people in maintaining secure housing in conjunction with comprehensive support services like mental health care, drug treatment, and job training. Housing First projects have been widely embraced across North America due to their proven effectiveness in reducing homelessness and increasing the overall quality of life for vulnerable populations. Public-private collaborations. Through public-private partnerships, PPPs, creative housing solutions are produced by utilizing the resources and strengths of both sectors. By offering tax breaks, grants, and subsidies to attract private investment, public-private partnerships, PPPs, enable developers and builders to finance affordable housing developments. PPPs have emerged as crucial as useful policy instruments to encourage the funding and construction of affordable housing projects because they promote a collaborative approach that encourages innovation and scalability. For example, the Regent Park redevelopment project, which involved the City of Toronto and the private sector, turned a dilapidated public housing complex into a thriving mixed-income neighborhood. From the administration of inclusionary zoning policies to the multi-stakeholder collaboration of public-private partnerships, from the land management of community land trusts to developing building codes of the new modular inventory, a few initiatives are now emerging as the most successful and widely adopted policies for addressing the affordable housing crisis. Government regulations are strong instruments that have the potential to greatly alter the market for affordable housing. Stakeholders must remain aware and involved as we examine and shape these policies going forward. Professionals in the housing and real estate industries are invited to participate in the discussion and help shape laws that support inclusive and sustainable housing options. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like the video. Subscribe for more insightful articles and updates. And don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you may have. We'd love to hear from you.